Good afternoon, Mihiraa. I'm Nurse Thames. I understand you've been feeling unwell. Can you tell me a bit about what's been going on?
Oh, it's been dreadful, nurse. Where do I even begin? For the past week or so, I've been plagued by this awful abdominal pain, sharp, stabbing, and it comes in waves. It's as if someone's twisting a knife inside me. Then there's the nausea, it's relentless. I've been vomiting every other hour since this started, and the diarrhea is worse. It's watery and has this very peculiar smell.
That sounds incredibly uncomfortable. I can only imagine how difficult it must be. So Mihiraa, when did you first notice these symptoms starting? Was there anything that seemed to make it worse, or maybe something you ate that could have triggered it?
Well, it all started 3 days after my family's barbecue. We had this lovely spread, seafood, salads, the usual. But now that I think about it, I did eat some oysters. They tasted fine, but could they have been the culprit? I've been wrecking my brain.
That's interesting. Oysters, especially raw ones, can sometimes cause foodborne illnesses. So, that might have been the trigger. Have you experienced any other symptoms like fever or chills? Sometimes they go hand in hand with these kinds of infections.
Oh, definitely. I've had chills so bad that I've been shivering under 3 blankets. It's like my body can't decide if it's freezing or burning up. One minute I'm feverish, then the next I'm drenched in sweat. And my energy levels are completely shot, muscle sore, too.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mihiraa. It sounds really exhausting. Have you noticed any other unusual symptoms? For example, any changes in the color of your urine or stool, or maybe a rash?
No rash, but my stool has been weirdly pale, almost yellowish. And I keep noticing the salty taste in my mouth, it's driving me crazy. Oh, and my urine's been smelling stronger, like metal. I know. It's a bit weird, right?
Not weird at all, actually. It's good that you're keeping track of all these little details. Changes like that can definitely help us figure out what's going on. How have these symptoms been affecting your daily life? I imagine it must be hard to do much of anything right now.
Oh, it's awful. I usually swim every morning, it's kind of my therapy, you know? But now, even just sitting at my desk feels like a huge effort. I work from home as a graphic designer, so I'm used to being at my desk a lot, but I can hardly concentrate with everything going on. Swimming's completely out of the question at the moment.
That sounds incredibly frustrating. It's tough when something you rely on to feel better actually becomes impossible. Have you tried any treatments or remedies to help with the symptoms? Sometimes home remedies can offer a little relief.
I've tried everything in my pantry. Ginger tea, peppermint oil capsules, probiotics, even charcoal tablets. I've been desperate. I also took some ibuprofen, hoping it would help with the body aches, but now I'm worried it's just making my stomach worse.
I totally understand, Mihiraa. It sounds like you've been really proactive. It's possible that some of those remedies, especially ibuprofen, could irritate your stomach further, especially if there's already inflammation. Based on what you've described, I think there's a chance you've contracted something called vibriosis. It's linked to eating raw or undercooked seafood, particularly shellfish like oysters.
Vibriosis? That sounds serious. Is it dangerous?
It can be, but if we catch it early and start treatment, it's usually manageable. Vibrio bacteria can cause the gastrointestinal issues you've been describing, like vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. If it spreads into the bloodstream, it can get more serious, but we'll monitor you closely.
Oh no. Does that mean I'll need to go to the hospital?
Not necessarily, Mihiraa. Right now, we're focusing on rehydration, getting you plenty of fluids and electrolytes. It sounds like you're quite dehydrated, which can explain the fatigue and muscle aches. I'll arrange for oral rehydration salts, and I'll advise you to keep sipping fluids throughout the day. If you don't start feeling better soon, we might consider 4 fluids.
Fluids, okay. Anything else I should do in the meantime?
Yes. It's also important to avoid any seafood until you're fully recovered. Stick to a bland diet, things like plain rice, toast, and bananas, and try to rest as much as possible. I'll coordinate with your GP to get you started on antibiotics, which are often the go-to for treating Vibrio infections.
Antibiotics? Oh, I don't know. Those always upset my stomach. Will they make everything worse?
I understand your concern, Mihiraa. While antibiotics can sometimes cause mild gastrointestinal discomfort, in this case, the benefits far outweigh any temporary discomfort. To help balance things out, I can also prescribe a probiotic that will help support your gut while you're on the antibiotics.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. What if things don't improve, though?
If your symptoms persist or worsen, we'll take it a step further. Your GP will check for any signs of sepsis, which can happen if the infection spreads, but that's rare. We'll also arrange for a follow-up appointment in 2 days to reassess. If you start feeling worse before then, please don't hesitate to visit the emergency department.
Thank you, nurse. I really hope this will resolve quickly.